You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot Polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris. Ooh, welcome in. Welcome in. It's kind of a random live stream. When I said that, Paco came running over here. What's up, dude? Random live stream. You're helping me help you in a way. I want to start streaming on a regular schedule again. I used to do Sundays back in the day, so this is what we're doing. I decided to go live on Sunday and see what happens. But I have a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time. I have it written down literally on a sticky note right here. It's been on my desk for like 3 years. And that is, should you edit your Polaroid photos or instax, instant photos in general? It's a hot topic to some don't care, some drastically care, like deeply care. And I thought about doing a live stream. I'm originally going to do it as like a video with submitted questions, but I thought this is a better conversation we should have live. And so welcome in, let's have a chat. Should you edit your Polaroid photos? Before I dive into that, if you haven't seen today's video release, I just did a video on the Polaroid i1. Nope, it's not the Polaroid. It's the Impossible. Yeah, technically it's the same company, but I go over the history of this camera. We go out and try and shoot it, and it's quirky. It's part one, actually. I'm going to do a second follow-up video on this in the future. Consider checking it out if you haven't already. But in the meantime, let's go over some comments here. We've got some Coffee Cup Arcade. Did that actually not work? What's going on? Did it not send the comment? What's going on? No, my comments aren't working. No, I can't send them. I can see them, but I can't send them. Why isn't that working? Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can quickly troubleshoot it. Yeah, what the heck? No, it's always something. It's always something. It's pushing it. Oh, interesting. Hold, please. I fixed it. There it is. I fixed it on the fly. Yay. All right. So we're good to go. No one. So Coffee Cup Arcade says, no, you should never edit a Polaroid photo. The charm is what you get. I'll give you my thoughts here in a second, because I do have some thoughts. Believe it or not. Yes, of course, but this is great. We're getting two different sides here. But how would you do that? Use markers or something? It was done all the time with film on the negative. So I guess what I'm meaning, or what the topic that people typically discuss, is once you digitize your Polaroid photo, should you edit that? Should you edit them? Should you change them? Should you make them how you wanted them to come out? Because sometimes with Polaroid, it's really tempting to change the tones or the overall vibe of the photo, because maybe it was hot out that day, or it was really cold that day, and the photo maybe was undersaturated, or it got a color shift. It's magenta, or it turned kind of bluish green. You can fix that in Photoshop. Should you do it? Me personally, my thoughts on this is two things. One, first of all, you do you. It's your photo. Do whatever you want with it. Who cares? And so with that said, my feeling on it is I try to keep the photos original as possible. Now, have I edited photos in the past? Maybe, honestly, a handful of times. I could probably count maybe two photos. Two photos do come to mind that I've ever done. But I typically, when I scan my photos in, I try to only edit them to make them look like they do in real life, how they look in my hands. Have I gotten rid of a quick little blemish from a dirty roller that left a mark on the photo? I have done that before, because it wasn't the photo's fault. It was the camera's fault. That's a whole other topic, I guess. But I have removed that little blemish on a photo in the past when I've scanned photos in. But that's pretty much the extent of how I've gone. But I do try to keep it original as possible. As pushable as possible. This is so funny because I learned how to scan my Polaroids last night. That's incredible. So this is good timing for you. I love your content, by the way. You inspire me so much. Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. And this topic also has come up more recently in my DMs because a few days ago, I've announced that I'm doing a super in-depth new course on scanning and digitizing / making physical copies of your instant photos. Multiple methods. The free way with your phone, and then various other ways that I know how to do, methods I've done to improve making photos shareable. I mean, come on, we live in a digital age. Regardless of us shooting instant photos, we want to share them. And how do we share them in the best way possible? The best resolution, highest quality, all that great stuff. Or if you just want to make physical prints. So this topic really stems from some DMs I've gotten more recently about editing. So that's where we're at. You did break it. You're calling back to that. Somehow I pushed a weird button, and one of these days I'm actually going to build out this to where it's a set. This is literally just where I work, and it's in the corner of my room. I'm at my desk, and so like the comments kind of block my face because it's, yeah, anyway, one of these days I'm actually going to build the set properly. I've just never done it. Half of why I shoot Polaroid and film in general is to avoid editing. So that's a great thought that I had too. That's why I got into instant photography. Partly why I got into instant photography, because I live behind a desk most of the time, and I edit videos for people, photos for people. I shoot video. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. In fact, if you guys didn't see my Instagram post, what was it, a few days ago? Look what I got from a client that I work with. Woohoo! I'll let you peep it for a second, and I'll put it away. I gotta hang it up. Look, oh, it's upside down. Oh, that's a 1 million subscriber play button. It's for a channel that I work on. Or I do work for. But anyway, I do a lot of that stuff behind the scenes, and it was nice to be able to go out and shoot photos and just push one button and I'm done. No editing. But then, of course, I turned this into a YouTube channel, and so I actually edit a lot of photos in the sense of scanning, digitizing them, getting them ready to post either on Instagram or in my video reviews. So I'm constantly having to edit photos. Now, when I say edit, that's just editing them to try and make them look original. Because sometimes digitizing them changes things up, or changes the photo up to where it doesn't look quite how it does in real life, depending on what you're using. All I'm saying is that sometimes scanning the photo has unwanted results. Exactly. It can change it. But if you're wanting to share it with somebody, how do you do it? There's only one. So adjusting it slightly to fix said errors. Okay. Yeah. I have done that. Like I'd said, there was like a little chemical, like for instance, Polaroid. Photos explode in the camera. Luckily, I haven't had that happen in a long time, but it has happened. And so when you clean the rollers, if you leave a little bit of residue of that chemical in there, it can actually cause these little weird dots and pressure points on your photos as it's being ejected, and can ruin your photo. I've had that happen, and I not always, but sometimes I've removed that in Photoshop. Guilty as charged. But I try not to like alter them by putting LUTs on them or doing all that sort of stuff. I had an interesting conversation with Yvonne Hansen on the podcast. When was that? 2 months ago? Month and a half ago or something like that? And she shoots her 35mm film, 120 film, and she edits them. She'll bring them to Lightroom and stuff and edit them. And a lot of people don't do that. So we had a cool little insight, or I feel it was a cool little insight into that, seeing that opposing side. Consider checking that out. It's over in the podcast. It's not the most recent one. I think a couple back. That's fair. Some of my scans look demonstrably worse than the original. Yeah, it can happen. And that's why you can try and bring them back to the original. So that's still technically editing your photo. I've been using Reclaim Green. Nice. I love that stuff, actually. As a black and white, since it's cheaper. What do you mean cheaper? And uses the same emulsion? Learned this later after Polaroid semi-expired. Old Formula S670. I needed to work out something for the fast shoot. What do you mean cheap? They don't make it anymore. It's gone. Somehow Brooklyn Film Camera got like a stock of it recently. Well, like a month ago. I don't know how, but they did. Can anything be done to edit out the purplish tint on the edges of Instax wide? Oh, I know what you're talking about. It seems that the worst tone it goes on. You can just Photoshop, messing with or isolate those parts of the image, and then just mess with your saturation levels or your HSL levels, things like that. But yeah, you have to use like Photoshop to make it happen. Quick question. Why do some Polaroids end up looking purplish and others look green and blue? I personally am a fan of the purplish. So that's based on the temperature outside or the ambient temperature in the room that you're in. It can be indoors and outdoors. So if it's cold outside, you're going to get a more pinkish green, or excuse me, bluish greenish and undersaturated and less contrasted photos. If you're outside or just in a room that is really, really warm, like hot, like 80 plus degrees, maybe in the 90s range, definitely in the hundreds, they're going to come out more pinkish magenta color and like pretty evenly across the board too. I think I was going to actually show examples of this stuff. Let's see if I can actually pull up a photo from, or that looks magenta. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. What video was that? I did a video on that like a couple years ago. What year was that? 2022, I think it was. Let's look at Polaroid. But Instax, you don't have to worry about that. Now you can bring it into like Photoshop, Lightroom, and kind of change it back to what it should look like for the most part. But should you do that? That's kind of what this topic is about. Or I'd like let people share their thoughts on it. I think you do whatever you want. It's your photos, it's your art. Do it. Do I have an example of it? Do I have an example of it? I don't know where, but I meant to actually have that handy as a reference. I might do another one of these streams where I'm actually doing editing like live. I will be incorporating it into the scanning course that will come out hopefully next like month and a half, 2 months, probably like 2 months. It's probably yeah, probably because I am releasing a physical product along with it, an actual product. I'm super excited. I can't talk about it. Is this what is this what? Nah, kind of, but not the greatest. But I can show you this one. It's not the greatest of an example. Come on, make this smaller. Why won't this go smaller? Why is it so huge? Okay, here we go. So this is me in front of the last Blockbuster. It's kind of, see how it's kind of purpley pink? It was hot. It was summer. This isn't that bad though. There's way worse. And I wish I could find those as an example, but I can't seem to find it. But yeah, if it's hot outside, you're going to get some interesting results with your photos. Why not? At the end of the day, it's just a matter of preference. Exactly. I don't think there is a right or wrong way, but in the community, I talk to a lot of people, right? On YouTube, I have to read all the comments. I get all the DMs. I get a lot of feedback from people, and the majority of the outliers, the loud people, I should say, are anti. They're just against editing photos, period. But those are also the same people that think that the Instax Evo shouldn't exist, or the Polaroid Lab should not exist. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm starting this new series where I recreate photos from like TV shows and movies and stuff, and I use the Polaroid Lab from that. And so I'm trying to show people that use the tools that you have to be creative. You wouldn't be able to do that stuff if those things didn't exist. So anyway, a little side tangent there. I think in the UK, in the UK, I think it's still up, but stockpiles. Interesting, in the UK. The film is the same price as iType. It is. It's like, what, $16.99, I think? At least here in the US. Or it was, but it's gone in the US. And the new black and white one's desaturated. The black and white's still available here, but we don't have the reclaimed green at all anymore. And I love that stuff. I think I have like one box, maybe two left. I wouldn't mind some more. Ooh, good question. Does it suffer? So I have that on the list to like really like test in like more in depth. If the black and white emulsion suffers from the temperature changes is what you asked. I don't have a solid answer yet. I gotta wait for hot temperatures, and it's been pretty cold for the last like 3-4 months. And I recently wanted to test that. So I don't have an answer, but I don't know if it really does. I was shooting black and white film in New York in May of last year. I think it was like 70, 80 degrees, if I remember right, when I was there. Still pretty good temperatures to shoot Polaroid photos. And I didn't notice any like color shifts or changes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on that. I also have or need to do a follow-up video on the black and white emulsion from last year to see if it turned brown. I actually haven't checked, so I don't know if that's true or not. Have you tried to scan your Polaroid the same way Matt Day does it? Oh, so the top down with your camera? Yes. And that will be also what I cover in the video. Now, the one thing about Matt's video, nothing against him at all. I watched that video. He doesn't show you how to do it. He just like talks about it. Matt, if you're watching, not that you are, show us. That's why I'm making my thing. Show us how to do it. Don't just talk about it. I'm a visual learner and I'm a hands-on learner as well. So that's why I try to make my videos where you see the examples of me doing it, not just me talking about it. There's still merit to that, but do it. But yeah, no, I will be covering on how to do that. That's just using a phone or a camera in general, any camera, top down, looking down, taking photo. And in fact, a lot of Polaroid frames or specialty frames from Instax or Polaroid, that's pretty much the only way you can scan those. And here, I can show you an example of. Check this out. This is how I scanned a photo. Oh, did I delete it? I might. Okay, hang on. This will make sense. I promise. Polaroid. Here we go. Did I shoot that on that one, or was it the i2? I don't remember. Okay, here we go. Yes, perfect. So this is the monochrome special edition film that came out last year, scanned digitally on my scanner. And look at the frame. Okay, how can I zoom in? Why can't I zoom in? There we go. I just have to do that. Whoa, that is too far. You get all these, what's that called? Chromatic aberrations. I can say words. There we go. You see how this is all just like really nasty looking? The only way you can really avoid that on those frames is to set up a camera and shoot it top down. And then bring it in and crop it and do a bunch of stuff to it afterwards. But that's really the only way. Now, I did do an updated one. Let's see. Oh, no, this is the old one. I actually have a video showing you how to do it. Shoot. Where's the actual scan or other version of that? I did it with that one. Anyway, that's for something later then. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. You're the reason I bought an Instax Mini 3 printer. Okay, awesome. Sorry to your wallet. I use a Leica X1 for most of my casual photos. Shoot it in JPEG and not edit it at all. The colors it produces is great with the Instax Mini film. That's awesome. Seems like a interesting way to use a very expensive camera and shoot it in JPEG. But hey, you do you. That's awesome. As long as it works for you. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Michael? Hello from India. Well, hello from the United States. Hello from the United States. But yes, we're talking about editing photos. Should you do it? And I always say, go for it. Do you. Now it depends. Actually, I should put a caveat to that. It depends. If you're entering it into a contest, that's where I think maybe it's cheating. If it's an instant photography specific photo contest and you've like altered the photo in some way, I think that might take away from what's supposed to be achieved in that contest, right? So keep it as original as possible. Don't try to alter it too much. How much editing do I do? So I personally, like I said earlier, don't try to edit my photos that far at all. Like I try to keep them as original as possible. Now, have I made some small tweaks here and there over the years? Absolutely. Like if I had a roller issue and where there was like a little little indent on the photos as it's being ejected from like a SX70 camera, for instance, that leaves these little small rings, or like these little, what is it called? Our best example. I don't think I have a photo I can even show you. But it can leave these roller marks on your photos. I've removed those in the past, but only a couple of times here and there. But I only edit my photos to the point where it's what looks like in person, in my hands. I don't try to change too much, because for me, that's how I like to enjoy my photos and I want to share my photos. But that doesn't mean you have to follow suit and do the same thing. It's up to you. I use the photo scan app for quick scanning of Polaroids on my Samsung S20. And that is the great way to do it. It's free. It's in your pocket. And I'm going to be covering how to improve those shots or improve those scans with like lighting and a couple other quick tricks in that course that's coming out in a couple months. I started filming it the other day, and I had to just scrap it because it just wasn't working. So I spent the whole day planning it out more in depth. I thought I had enough of it in my head, but I put it down on paper, more accurately, Post-it notes, and laid it all out and came up with new ideas doing that. So if you ever want to create stuff, write it all down, get it out of your head onto paper. You'll see so much things you may not have thought of in the first place. Like I thought I had it laid out perfect, but I'm like, oh, well, no, this actually should go there. That should go there. Oh, I completely forgot about all this. So I try to jump the gun by filming it ahead of time, but no, hopefully I'll be filming it this week, and it'll take a little while to finish, but it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Because every day I get questions every day. How do I scan my photos? How do I post my photos to Instagram? What app do I use to do that? All that sort of stuff. And when in doing that, it's really easy to, or be tempted to edit your photos. So that's what we're kind of talking about today anyway. Should you do it, but more accurately, like just do you. I'm repeating myself. Hello from the Philippines. Is there a storage box with controlled temp? No, but Brooklyn Film Camera was working with, who was that? I don't remember. We talked about it on the podcast. I had Kyle from Brooklyn Film Camera on the podcast last month or so. And we talked about that because they were developing something like that, but it fell through and it was going to be too expensive. It was going to be like $300. And they're like, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to buy this. So it didn't happen. Yes, I can't wait for it either. Now, I will say this is going to be a standalone course, not separate from the main course, which is the Master the Art of Instant Photography. It's going to be separate from that and way cheaper too. Not that the other course wasn't cheap, because that was very cheap. $60 for a course. Get out of here. It's like 6.5 hours. I journal my journey on Polaroid. That's fun. Do you like make scrapbooks with it too, like your photos? If you mean perfecting the photo, I do not. What do you mean? But when adding or changing the photo in an artistic way, I certainly do. Not sure what that means. I think I'm following. Like as far as editing, I think I do. Yeah. Here we go. Hello from Germany. What's up? I use the Epson V600 and I have no problem scanning. Awesome. Sweet. Not sure what that means, but hey, that's awesome. That scanner is great. That's also going to be covered in the course. I don't even own one. Those are really expensive, like $500-600 for one of those. So in the course, I'm going to show methods to flatbed scanning that will work on low end and high end, as well as other methods on digitizing, such as using your phone, DSLR cameras, tips and tricks, all that good stuff. Greetings from Florida. What's up, film boy? I should be in Florida in June, I think. Tampa. I think I'll be in Tampa. Maybe. I haven't been told. So maybe I won't. I don't know. But anyway, this through a client of mine. But anyway, editing photos. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Do you do it? Should you do it? I personally don't think it matters. Edit your photos unless it's for a photo contest, like I was saying. But if it's you want to present your photos however you want to do them. I know this is kind of like it's just an old conversation that people still talk about today. Back when digital photos came out to begin with, when there was digital photos, crazy digital camera, what? And everyone was so purist and want to stick to the film. And then there's people shooting digital and then they're editing, tweaking the photos, and everyone's like, well, that's so fake. That's not real photos. But those people enjoyed it. They didn't have to worry about developing and all that sort of stuff. I always found that stuff interesting and fascinating. How new technology comes along, but everyone gets scared of it. Like AI. Wow. My Polaroid images tend to come out more greenish, but I have put them in the fridge. Will it keep them the color of my Polaroid? So, have not put them in the fridge is what you're saying. So depending on where you live and the time of year that you're shooting. For instance, or more accurately, an example, I live in the Pacific Northwest. We don't really get crazy humidities. The temperatures don't get crazy high and they don't get crazy cold. Our winters are very mild. I haven't seen snow in over a year, even though it's technically supposed to snow on Wednesday. We'll see. But we do get snow. It's usually lasts like a day or two and it's gone. So I live kind of in a bubble where shooting instant photography is great. I don't have to really worry about too much. But so if like I was saying earlier, if you're getting greenish pictures, that just means you're in a colder environment at the time of shooting the photo. If you have stored your photos in the fridge and then you pulled them out and then shot it right away, that's also a possibility, even though you said you didn't store them in the fridge. But if you had, you'd want to bring them up to like room temperature. So just wait like 20 minutes and then you can shoot it. But temperature will affect your Polaroid photos, not your instax. Instax has it figured out. It just works. But Polaroid will be affected. Now, if you live in a hot environment, you're going to get color temperature shifts there too. It's going to be kind of more red or magenta, pink looking photos. And then you could, like, bring it back to the, should you edit, you can actually bring those into Photoshop or Lightroom and kind of bring it back to what it normally would look like. If you have too much of an altered photo, or have a photo that's altered, if it's too much, you might not be able to do it, but it can be done. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. But if you're struggling with photos doing that with Polaroid specifically, just note the temperature outside. If it's on the cooler side, try to keep it warm after development, or after taking the picture. So you have your photo. What I like to do is just put it under your arm, leave it there for a little, like a couple minutes, and then you should be good. Or if you're outside shooting, bring it into the car that has the heater going. Just let it develop in a warmer temperature. That's pretty much how to fix that problem. Hey Chris, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Greetings from Australia. I've always wanted to go there. Is temperature discoloration true? Yes. For SX70 film, you're asking. Absolutely. Any Polaroid. And in fact, I need to do a video about this. There's no such thing as SX70 film differences anymore. Polaroid has, I guess quietly in a way, killed SX70 film. And it's all 600 film. All of it's exactly the same. 600, I-type, SX70 film. It's all the same chemistry. No difference. And they've now just started baking in an ND filter into each individual photo now. So if you ever shoot, so that's what you need to test, not test, but show, demonstrate. I just need to go buy an SX70 pack, open it up, sacrifice it, pull a photo out just to show you. Because you can see it. There's a difference now. It's like tinted. And you can actually open up the photo and pull out the ND filter. So there is no difference anymore. So yes, it will get color shift. With Instax, didn't have it figured out. Wait, what? You wish Instax didn't have it figured out, because I love the uniqueness of every different color film. That's an interesting take. I recently bought the SX70, or excuse me, the Instax Mini 99 for that reason. Oh, so you can adjust like the filters and stuff. Interesting. All right. I mean that's one reason I do like Polaroid. I tend to complain from time to time. But you never know what you're going to get, and that is kind of the charm, and that is the fun. Well, here in Finland, we have a lot of snow. Yeah, I bet you do. I live north, and Lapin is not far from here where I live. Yeah, if you get a lot of snow and a lot of cold, shoot Instax. Otherwise, your Polaroid photos, they're going to be very undersaturated, low contrast, so very faded, and potentially green. And I think I would rather have the pink shift, I think, on my photos. The green ones, not for me. I did a night sky photography in tripod mode on my Polaroid, and the line of stars, gray, blue, blue color. It would have been black. What do you recommend? Well, I mean, again, it comes down to the temperature outside, and it sounds like you did a long exposure. So yeah, it's going to probably be more like twilight and bluish in your picture results, even on perfect weather conditions. When the sun starts going down, there's going to be just more twilight kind of colors available. They're not going to have like, saturated images, if I'm understanding what you're saying. But then again, that's where you could bring him in and edit him. It's up to you. But if you do edit stuff, like a lot of people ask me what I even use for editing my photos, and I just use Photoshop and Lightroom. However, when I'm out and about, I don't think I've ever used it for instant photos, but there's a free app I believe it's from Google. It's Snapseed. Really nice. I use that all the time for just posting pictures, just like phone photos. So that's a great free app. But there's also apps for Photoshop and Lightroom, but sadly you do have to pay for the subscription of Adobe to have access to those on your phone. It's kind of a bummer. I think there's another one called Affinity Photo. I think that one's free. I have it on my desktop. I'm looking at it, but I've never really used it, but I think it is free. He's asking Instax or Polaroid ? I'm not sure what you mean by that, or what you're asking about that, but let me know. But yeah, Affinity Photo. I don't know if there's a photo app for that for the phone. I need to look into that. I've messed around with it at someone's, like a friend's house. They had it. It was pretty cool, and so I downloaded it, but I've never used it. I kind of just stuck in the Adobe like infrastructure, which is it has its perks, but most of it, it's just like once you learn it, it's hard to like go leave it to go learn something else. Time is money. If I was doing it for a hobby, I guess it'd be different. But yeah, Lightroom Mobile is so laggy on the phone too, it crashes my phone. I've never experienced that. However, I've actually rarely used it on my phone. Lightroom on my phone. I've used it before, but not a lot. I just saw a 3-hour astrophotography with a Now Plus on tripod and bulb mode. It came out so cool. Well, that's really cool. I've seen some people use a 1-step plus trying to do that, and they couldn't get any results. It was just like still pitch black, and I think they did like a 12-hour, 18-hour exposure, and they still didn't really get much as a result. Actually, it was probably like a 6-hour. Now I think about it, I don't know. I saw a video like 5 years ago. But that's cool if they got some results with the Now Plus. I mean, heck, it does overexpose, so I guess that would come in handy in that regard. I haven't tried editing Polaroids post-development, but I have used colored cell phone to give the lens effect. What do you mean? Oh, cellophane. I read that wrong. I thought you typoed. I'm like, I thought you meant cell phone. Yeah, cellophane with a photo. Yeah. That's fun. Like gels over your yeah, exactly. In-camera effects to change your results. That stuff's so much fun. I love doing that so much. I've done lots of videos on that with like, usually during my Halloween specials over the years, where I've done transparencies. I've done ones on how to create your own reclaimed film, essentially. I've done videos on that. There's a few others. I'm kind of blanking it now. Which ones? I've done so many videos over the years. My next buy will be maybe the Instax Mini Evo, because of the amazing features and multiple usage possibilities. There's also the Evo Wide, which I don't have. It's not out yet. It's coming out, I think, later this coming week. I'll try and pick it up and do a video on it, but it's expensive. I have a question. You could rate instant photos from your community in a video. Yes, that's not really a question or suggestion. I can't read today. Yeah, so the last live stream I did was on the Evo Wide, and I mentioned that I want to do a community live stream where it's just users submitted either photos for critiques or just cool projects that they found or working on themselves, you know. Yeah, that I want to put together, but I have to figure out a great infrastructure to make it happen. So like having users be able to submit their photos to where I can do it live. I have a way to do it, but I haven't really tested it and whatnot. So we'll see. It might just be a Google Drive link, to be honest, and I can just grab them that way. So I am working on it because I think it'd be really fun, and it'd be awesome to do one of those like monthly. So stay tuned. I use GIMP photo editor on Linux OS. Use Linux. Wow. I've heard of that. I've never actually tried it though. The GIMP photo editor. I should probably check it out. Did you order the Evo Wide? No, I have not ordered it yet, but I'm planning on getting it to do a video. I don't know if I'll keep it. Mostly due because I'm poor. And it's a $350 camera. So I'll probably get it, do the video, and have to return it. We'll see. I just got screwed on eBay by not really with the seller's fault, but by USPS. But I shipped an item, and it was almost it was $550 item, and it got lost in the mail, and I lost the money. And so that took it, and that was a huge impact. So I'm like, and yeah, I did buy the Lomo wide glass. I sent back the other one because that one was just on loan from Lomography, and I did purchase that one. Should have waited though, because right as I bought that, the eBay thing happened. So. But I'm waiting to pick that up. I need to go pick it up. I actually had it sent to a friend's house. So he lives in Oregon. No sales tax. Saved me like $30. But anyway, I do plan on getting the Wide Evo and making a video about it. It'll just have to be coming soon. Not sure. Hopefully when it's officially available, I'll be able to go pick it up really quickly. Can you link the video on how to create your own reclaimed film? So spoiler alert, it's basically just, it's using gels to create your own. That's pretty much what it is. But let me actually, you know what? I can technically link it. Hang on, let me pull it up. It was from the season 4 Halloween special. I think it was from it was, I know what it is. It was the upside down film. I created the upside down film. Here it is. How do I share it? Okay, here we go. Share. Copy link. And oh shoot, I have to go to my actual live stream. Oh, I can leave right here. Boom. There we go. There it is. Check it out. It should be that one. Should be that one. You should go on photography tour and make a photo book. So I want to go on tour really bad. That costs money. I have some plans for some pitches. I have 2 ideas, but it takes money, and I really want to do it though. There's an idea I have for doing a Route 66 trip with Caleb Caleb, if you're in the house. We kind of talked about it, and I might be able to find a sponsor to help with that, but we'll see, because that's like a couple weeks on the road, and hotels and food and gas and film. But no, it would be so much fun. It's on the list. Any experience and advice about taking Polaroids with a Godox flash attached? Oh yeah. It's like studio flashes and stuff. That's a good idea. I should do that. Let me write it down. I got a thing here. Like studio lights of video, like studio flashlight. There we go. I'll write that down. That's a good idea. I haven't used that light though. I will be a guinea pig for that project. Which one? Which one was that? I don't know what I was talking about. Oh man, I feel sorry about the item. Maybe it's still possible to find it. Oh yeah, so I've messaged USPS. They're gonna find it, but it sucked too because it was going overseas and it was being shipped through eBay's like program. So I shipped it to eBay, but eBay never got it. So they said once if they had gotten it and it got lost, then I would have gotten a refund. But since it never made it to them, it's like, oops, too bad. You're just out the money. So I'm trying to find it. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of sucked. But, yeah, I had an hour to kill. That's also the reason why I wanted to go live today. For a couple of reasons, like I said. One, to talk about editing photos. Should you do it? Fun topic I've wanted to talk about more. And then I also wanted to test Sunday live stream. Should I start doing a Sunday live stream? I typically upload videos on Sundays, like today's video on the i1. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see what happens. But also had an hour to kill because I'm actually going to go meet up. Someone's selling a Polaroid camera for $20. I can afford that. $20 camera. It's the State Farm insurance camera, vintage one, for $20. Heck yeah. I'm gonna go get that and do a video. I'm meeting him in like 35 minutes, so I'm gonna just chat with you guys for a little bit longer and then I'll jump. But yeah. Oh, that's what you're talking about. The being a guinea pig for that. Totally. I think for that. I'm going to make it a goal to do it in this month, probably towards the end of the month. And it'll probably just be a Google Drive everyone uploads to. The problem is it'll be on the honor system. So meaning it's a public folder. And so if you upload stuff to it, there's always that one bad egg that's like, ooh, I can just like delete stuff, you know, and then be annoying. So it'll be on the honor system for now. Now I do know there's also a way I can do it as a submission form through Google. That's the thing I need to look at and kind of mess with, because one of the clients that I work with, Deep Pocket Monster, he does one where you submit stuff and enter into giveaways, which that I also want to do, a random giveaway like generator. I think that'd be so much fun. And do them just through live streams. Typically, I've been doing giveaways through my Patreon, just for members, and I've been setting it up as free, so where you can just join for free, in the hopes that people stick around after they've joined. But I set it up to where you can get in there and just be free, but everything's just in like one spot. But I think I might switch it up and do it for live stream people. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Just got a Pronto AF with self timer for $30. That's a sweet deal. And yeah, that is a sweet deal for the State Farm. You know what else is a sweet deal? The generosity of people, especially like you people, the viewers. The other one's too far away, but someone sent me to the PO box an Instax SQ20. Like what? Look at that. That's crazy. Sent that to the PO box, but you know what's even crazier? The same person sent me a Nons 660. Can't use that yet because I don't have a lens. So I gotta track down a lens. But how amazing is that? So those videos will be coming soon. Speaking of that, I got the Polaroid lab here. Yeah. So for the next couple of months, I'm going to be narrowing down just like a lot of camera reviews, because there's a lot of cameras I just haven't gotten to. Camera videos are fun, but they're so repetitive for me. I want to do something different. But I'm really excited to try out both of those cameras, especially that Nons camera. Really can't wait. It's going to be cool. You already have so many Polaroid cameras. You got to make a photo book out of those. So I've done books, and I have one coming. Well, it's not really a book. It's a unique book. So I'll wrap up with this, but with this little topic. So I have 2 books. This is one I came out with like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. This is the Welcome to Hazeldale. It's like a trip through my hometown. Look at that. And there's like a story along with it. I give little informations. That came out, like I said, a little while ago. And I did another one back in 2020. Interactive one. There's like videos and stuff you could watch. But I am waiting for the final stuff. I'm actually going to do a Kickstarter for this one. Or Indiegogo, actually. I think not top. Dave, he's convinced me. But I have, look at this. I have a comic book coming out. Instant photography comic book. Yeah, I'll show you just like one of the pages. Which one should I show? I'll just show this one. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Comic book, baby. But not only is it a comic book, it will also have 5 photos that I took with continuing story on the back. And it's going to be packaged. I have it all here because I've been working on it forever. It's going to be packaged. This is one of the prototypes in a kind of a wax pack. Yeah. It's going to be all really cool. The first batch of books just got here. There'll be a limited run of 30 for the initial launch. Even Paco's excited about it. And then, hang on, I'm going to mute him. So okay, I should be unmuted. Must be a dog walking by. But anyway, yeah, initially there's going to be about 30 in the first run. And then I'm going to open it up as an Indiegogo to do it on a larger scale, because I think this is a really cool idea, and I want to continue this and do multiple issues. But yeah, it's really fun. The concept of the book, there's a story that goes along, like I said, with the photos that you'll get packaged, and there's going to be 5 of them. Really, really cool. And it's crazy someone brought up books, and I have it already here. Look at that. Wasn't planned. I've been working on this for like last month and a half. I can't draw, but you know what? I have an imagination. And so I learned AI to make this comic book. And people think that that's just simple. It's not. The characters in this book, there's continuity across the board. The faces, everything, hair colors, the designs, and that's not easy. I did leave like 1 or 2 of them in here that were like, oh, they work, but I liked how the image came out overall, so I left it. But I learned as I went along. But anyway, more on that will be coming really soonish. Couple weeks. I'll be announcing it more. But I'm gonna have a handful of these available in hand to purchase right out of the gate, and then basically they'll be opened up as a pre-order after that for the Indiegogo. And then I'm gonna do a collector's edition option with trading cards of these characters, which I've already designed those. I have to get those printed. Whole thing. So shout out to whoever that was, I can't remember, that talked about books. So there you go. Yeah, the non 660, very generous. I was shocked. Can't believe it. Can't wait for the comic book. Me too. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm already thinking up ideas on how I can do more stories. So it'll be the same characters. But yeah, and oh yeah, and the comic book's called Tales from Terra. Pretty excited for it. Pretty excited. The comic book is awesome. Thank you. So I really appreciate the feedback. Comic book is very cool. AI or not. Fact. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't draw, but I have imagination. I got stories and ideas that I want to do. And so I've been learning how to do it. And it's not like what people think. It's like, oh, AI, it's always like it's a bad thing. I don't understand why people think it's a bad thing unless you're trying to pass it off as real or use it to, I don't know, for weird, crazy stuff. I don't know. This is just an idea I had in my head and I was able to bring it to life. Now, it's not just like I typed it out and I got this image, right? It's like there's so much more to it. There's tweaking, there's Photoshop, there's a lot of stuff that went into it. I kind of just used it as AI as a tool to get me to where I wanted to go. Almost like brute force it in a way. Been learning a lot of how to do it and it's been incredible. This is I've never made a comic book before. Okay, let me back up a little bit. I'll end the stream in like 5 minutes because I talk about this forever. For the last like 5 years, I've wanted to create a card series using Polaroid photos, and I have not figured out how to get prints front and back in the true size of a Polaroid photo. And I did it, except this is not accurate. It's a little bit bigger, so I had to redesign it. There's no company out there that really does it. That was the problem. So I found a way to make it happen, and I'm literally like printing them on 4x6 and cutting them out myself individually. So I wanted to make a card series with instant photos because I don't know if you can relate to this, but when you're looking through photos, it just feels like you're looking through your cards, like you just open a pack of cards. I've never been really one for I've never been a big card collector in my adulthood, I guess. And when I was a kid, I had cards all the time, Pokemon cards mostly. And ironically enough, I work on a Pokemon card channel these days. But anyway, I thought it'd be so cool to create trading cards with my photos, but not just my photos, other like friends, other YouTubers can give me one of their photos, make a copy of it and make it like a rare card, like a chase card. Maybe it's an autograph card. Maybe it's just a portrait of them and it's signed by them and there's like 5 of them. And these are in these like card wrappers, like card packaging, and they're just sold and you can try and collect all the cards in the series, but they're instant photos. So that's still probably going to happen. I just think that'd be so much fun. And like also like do holographic cards. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. So this is kind of the starting point of that. This, I went nuts and just decided to make this. Here it is. It exists and it's pretty cool. It's a short, it's not much to it. I'm not really a story writer. I have fun ideas. So I've learned a lot since I've started this, so I could do better the second time. That's also something that's kind of, I'm like, oh man, maybe I should scrap this and just make another one that's better. Issue 2, baby. That's what it's going to be. But anyway, there we go. I should wrap that up. I'm not just another Chris. Well, I am. Any suggestions on how to make your own books? So yes, I'm going to show you how to do this. Coming eventually this year at some point. I have to make everything and I'm still learning as I'm going, but I will be sharing how to do all this stuff. He's the Chris. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, so I'm going to show this stuff. I don't like what's the word? Gatekeeping. I'm not one that does that just because I figure it out. Like I love sharing this. I'm going to show you how to do this stuff. Actually, I can show you, we got a couple extra minutes here. I'll show you this before we wrap up. So with the comic book and everything, I'm going to do a collector's edition. I'm still figuring out what comes with it, but I do know I want to make trading cards. And so I've designed 6 cards so far. And I'll show you what they look like. Where are they? There they are. But I am going to show you how to do this yourself too. So for instance, here's one of the cards. I haven't designed the backs of some of these cards yet. I gotta do that. So here's one. I wanted to have like a sci-fi, like 1960s vibe. Come on, let me shrink this down a little bit. Why is it so big? So this is going to be one of the cards. And I'm just giving random stories to the characters. Now, these ones look slightly different than this because I wanted to, like, as a kid, I would see like old sci-fi books and the artwork on the cover was so cool. And then you'd open it up and you start reading it more and everything looked totally different. So I kind of want to have that vibe a little bit. I don't even know why I started doing this. It's just a random idea I had. And so here's another one. There's of the characters. There is going to be a dog, Nova, and then Lyra is the doctor, like the female protagonist character, which is crazy because none of this is actually in the comic book of them like battling anything. It's this whole other side thing. In the book, they go on an adventure and take pictures. They're like on vacation in this book, and this is like that. Anyway, so I've been working on that. It's random outside of instant photography in a way, but I wanted to create something no one's ever done before, an instant photography comic book. And that's also going to be in my course. One of the sections is utilizing your scanned photos, using the photos after you've taken, what do you do with them? So inspiration, hopefully, I don't know. Anyway, let's get back on track. Maybe I went off on a little tangent. I'm really passionate about it. I'm really excited. How much should you pay for a Stranger Things version 1 Step 2? This is great question. Right now, buy it. Whatever, if it's a couple $100, buy it. Season 5 is coming out this year. I'm actually wearing a Stranger Things hoodie, actually. It's coming out this year. And last time, so last season 4 came out, the Stranger Things Polaroid camera jumped up to like $700. So it's at a low point right now. Now's the time to buy. So if you want one, you've been eyeing it, snatch it up because it's going to go way up in price and stay there for quite a while. That camera has come down, but it has not come down to what it was originally going for pre-season 4 of Stranger Things. Because you could pick those up for like $50-$60, and then now I think they're like $200. They've come down because they were like I said, $600-$700. Actually, I think I've seen sealed ones go for like $1,200 at that time. It was crazy. So there you go. Get it now. Anything Stranger Things right now. If it's been out for a while, if you've been eyeing it, now is the time to buy. How much do you scan your photos? Or wait. How do you scan your photos if you do not photograph them? Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to do all of that in a course coming up. I've done videos on that already, but I use this right here, which is just the Epson ES60W. I should have it linked in the description, actually. It's technically not a photo scanner. This is a document scanner. About $150. Sounds expensive, but for scanners, that's cheap. And it does a great job. Look at my Instagram. Everything from this from the last everything I've scanned in the last 4 years has been on this. It's portable, built-in battery. It connects to your phone even. Now, if you connect it to your phone, you can only get 300 DPI, I believe, scan. Connected to your computer, you can get 1200. Maybe it's 600 on your phone. I think it might only be 3. But that is how I do them. You should send one of your real Polaroids with collector's editions. Good idea. But it would be tough because there'd be only one. And so if I sell, that's the whole thing. But I do give out my original photos over on Patreon. I think there's 2 slots left open now, or might be 3 now. I think someone did leave. I can't remember. There's at least 2 open slots. It's capped at 7. But in that tier, one of the perks you get is one of my original instant photos, either from Polaroid, Instax, whatever it might be. I've even given out pack film shots over there in the past. So there you go. One of my favorite series is for sure talking about Stranger Things, because it's one of mine too. I need to fix the comments. I keep getting chopped off. Actually, maybe just raise my chair a little bit. That's a little bit better. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, hey, I'm going to wrap it up there. You guys, thank you so much for joining in. You got a little insight, a little sneak peek at some stuff that's coming down the pipeline. I'm going to show you guys how to do this too, which is, it's a lot of work, but if you're up to the task, it can be done. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Where is it? I don't have a hotkey button for that right now. I sacrificed it for the last live stream. Where is it? Boom. There it is. Credits are rolling. You guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. It was a fun stream. I miss streaming. I need to do it more and more. The more I do it, the more I want to continue it. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, get out there. Make some art, baby.